Hello and welcome to the Mindful Zone. Today we're embarking on a journey that invites you to explore your creativity, nurture your well-being, and connect deeply with yourself. This session is inspired by timeless wisdom from Buddhism, mindfulness practices, and meditation techniques, all woven together to help you unlock your inner creative potential. Creativity isn't just about painting masterpieces or composing symphonies. It's about seeing the world through fresh eyes, finding innovative solutions to challenges, and embracing life with curiosity and openness. In fact, creativity is an essential part of being human. It's how we express ourselves, solve problems, and make meaning out of our experiences. And here's the good news. You already possess everything you need to be creative. It's not something external, it's within you, waiting to be awakened. So why are we combining Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness with creativity? Because these ancient practices offer profound insights into how the mind works, and they provide tools to quiet the noise, reduce stress, and create space for inspiration to emerge. When we cultivate mindfulness, we become more aware of the present moment. We notice details we might otherwise overlook. We learn to observe our thoughts without judgment, allowing new ideas to surface naturally. In Buddhism, there's a concept called shoshin, or beginner's mind. This means approaching every situation as if it's the first time, with wonder, curiosity, and openness. Imagine what could happen if you brought this mindset to your daily life. What possibilities might open up if you let go of preconceived notions and allowed yourself to see things anew? Today, whether you're here because you want to reignite your passion for art, find clarity in your work, or simply feel more grounded and relaxed, this session is designed to support you. It's warm, accessible, and meant to meet you exactly where you are. There's no pressure to get it right. Just show up, breathe, and trust the process. Before we dive in, take a moment to settle into your space. Find a comfortable position, whether that's sitting upright in a chair, lying down on the floor, or even leaning against a wall. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and then exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale, peace. Exhale, tension. How does that feel? Notice any shifts in your body or mind. Are you feeling calmer, more centered? That's mindfulness at work. It's simple yet powerful. And over the next 2 hours, we'll expand on this foundation, exploring how to integrate mindfulness and meditation into your creative practice and into your everyday life. Throughout this video, I invite you to approach each chapter with openness and patience. If certain concepts resonate with you, pause and reflect on them. If others don't land immediately, that's okay too. Trust that whatever you need will come to you in its own time. And remember, this isn't just about today. The tools and insights you'll gain here can ripple outward, enriching every area of your life. So let's set an intention together. Silently repeat after me. I am open to discovering my creative potential. I am ready to embrace mindfulness and joy in my daily life. Feel free to personalize that intention however you'd like. Make it yours. This is your journey, and I'm honored to guide you along the way. Let's begin. Chapter 1. What is creativity really? Welcome to Chapter 1 of our journey together. Today we're diving deep into a question that might seem simple on the surface, but holds layers of meaning and possibility. What is creativity really? When most people hear the word creativity, they think of painters standing before easels, sculptors chiseling marble, or musicians strumming guitars. And while those are beautiful expressions of creativity, limiting its definition to traditional art forms misses the bigger picture. Creativity isn't just about making things. It's about seeing things differently. It's about connecting dots that others might not see, finding new solutions to old problems, and embracing life with curiosity and imagination. In essence, creativity is a way of being. It's how we approach challenges relationships, and even mundane tasks. Have you ever rearranged your living room furniture to create a cozier space? That's creativity. Have you ever improvised dinner using random ingredients from your fridge? That's creativity too. Even deciding which route to take home to avoid traffic involves a spark of creative thinking. So why does creativity matter so much? Because it enriches our lives. It helps us adapt, innovate, and grow. When we tap into our creativity, we become more resilient, more resourceful, and more alive. But here's the thing. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that creativity belongs only to artists or geniuses. We tell ourselves stories like, "I'm not creative," or "I don't have time for that." These beliefs block us from accessing a part of ourselves that's inherently joyful and fulfilling. Let me share something important with you. Creativity isn't a talent reserved for a select few. It's a natural human capacity. Every single one of us has the ability to think creatively. The key is learning how to nurture it, trust it, and give it space to flourish. One of the most profound teachings from Buddhism that can help us understand creativity comes from the concept of Shoshin, or beginner's mind. Shoshin refers to approaching every situation as if it's the first time, with openness, curiosity, and without preconceived notions. Think about how children explore the world. They ask endless questions, marvel at small wonders, and aren't afraid to make mistakes. Their minds are unburdened by judgment or self-doubt. This is what allows them to be endlessly creative. As adults, we often lose touch with this beginner's mindset. We get caught up in routines, expectations, and fears of failure. But the truth is, creativity thrives when we let go of these barriers. When we allow ourselves to play, experiment, and embrace uncertainty, we open doors to possibilities we never imagined. Now, I want to invite you to reflect on your own relationship with creativity. Take a moment to consider, when was the last time you felt truly inspired? Was it while working on a project, while spending time in nature, or perhaps during a conversation with a friend? Notice where and when creativity shows up in your life, and also notice where it feels absent. Are there areas where you'd like to invite more creativity? Maybe it's in your career, your hobbies, or simply in how you navigate daily challenges. Keep these thoughts in mind as we move forward. To deepen our understanding of creativity, let's explore 3 key elements that fuel it: presence, connection, and flow. Presence. Creativity requires us to be fully engaged in the moment. When we're distracted by phones, deadlines, or worries, we miss opportunities to notice details that could spark inspiration. Mindfulness teaches us to anchor ourselves in the present, tuning into what's happening right now. For example, imagine stepping outside and paying attention to the colors of the leaves, the rhythm of birdsong, or the texture of the breeze against your skin. These sensory experiences can awaken dormant ideas and emotions, fueling your creative energy. Connection. Creativity is also about relationships, not just with other people, but with the world around us. When we feel connected to nature, to loved ones, to our inner selves, we access a wellspring of inspiration. Buddhist philosophy emphasizes interconnectedness, reminding us that everything is linked. Your creativity doesn't exist in isolation. It's shaped by your experiences, environment, and interactions. By cultivating gratitude and compassion, we strengthen these connections, creating fertile ground for creativity to blossom. Flow. Finally, creativity often emerges when we enter a state of flow, a term coined by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Flow happens when we're so absorbed in an activity that time seems to disappear. It's the feeling you get when you're completely immersed in writing, dancing, or solving a puzzle. In this state, your mind quiets and your intuition takes over. Meditation and mindfulness practices can help you access flow more easily by training your brain to focus and let go of distractions. Now, let's try a short exercise to experience these principles firsthand. Find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly, Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale, peace. Exhale, tension. Now bring to mind something you've always wanted to try creatively, whether it's painting, writing poetry, starting a garden, or learning a musical instrument. Picture yourself doing it. Imagine the sights, sounds, and sensations. How does it feel? Notice any excitement, curiosity, or even fear that arises. Whatever you feel is perfectly okay. Just observe it without judgment. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Now silently repeat this affirmation to yourself. I am naturally creative. I trust my instincts. I embrace curiosity over fear. Feel free to personalize it however resonates with you. Carry this intention with you as we continue exploring ways to activate your creativity. Before we wrap up this chapter, let's address a common obstacle many people face when trying to tap into their creativity: the inner critic. You know the voice I'm talking about? The one that whispers, "You're not good enough," or "This isn't perfect." This voice stems from fear and self-doubt, and it can paralyze us before we even begin. The good news is that mindfulness offers powerful tools to quiet the inner critic. Instead of fighting it or trying to silence it completely, we acknowledge its presence and gently redirect our focus. For instance, if you're drawing and the critic says, "That line looks terrible," you can respond with kindness. "Thank you for sharing, but I'm here to explore, not judge." Over time, this practice weakens the critic's power and strengthens your confidence. Remember, creativity isn't about perfection. It's about expression. It's about showing up, experimenting, and enjoying the process. So give yourself permission to be imperfect. Celebrate small wins along the way. Each step you take brings you closer to discovering the boundless potential within you. As we transition to the next chapter, I encourage you to carry this sense of openness and curiosity with you. Creativity isn't something you find, it's something you cultivate moment by moment. With patience, practice, and presence, you'll begin to see the world through fresh eyes and uncover the infinite possibilities waiting to unfold. Let's keep going. Chapter 2. The connection between mindfulness and creativity. Welcome to Chapter 2 of our journey together. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most profound connections that can transform your creative life: the relationship between mindfulness and creativity. Mindfulness, the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment, isn't just a tool for reducing stress or improving focus. It's also a gateway to unlocking your innate creative potential. When we slow down and tune into the here and now, we create space for inspiration to emerge. We notice details we might otherwise overlook, connect with our emotions more deeply, and tap into a wellspring of ideas that lie beneath the surface of busy thoughts. But let's back up for a moment. Why is mindfulness so powerful when it comes to nurturing creativity? To answer that, we need to understand how the mind operates under different conditions. Often our minds are cluttered with distractions, worries about the future, regrets about the past, endless to-do lists, and societal pressures. This mental noise creates static, making it difficult to hear the quiet whispers of inspiration. Think of your mind as a pond. When it's stirred up with ripples of thought, worry, and distraction, the water becomes murky. You can't see clearly to the bottom, but when you practice mindfulness, you allow the water to settle, the ripples fade, and suddenly you can see all the way through. Clarity emerges, ideas flow, inspiration strikes. This isn't just poetic imagery, it's backed by science. Studies have shown that mindfulness practices like meditation increase activity in the brain's prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for problem-solving, decision-making, and creative thinking. At the same time, mindfulness reduces activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain associated with fear and stress. Less fear means less inhibition, which allows you to take risks and think outside the box. Now let's dive deeper into how mindfulness specifically supports creativity. There are 3 key ways mindfulness enhances our ability to generate new ideas and approaches: presence, observation, and non-judgment. Presence. Creativity thrives in the present moment. When we're fully engaged in what we're doing, whether it's writing, painting, cooking, or brainstorming, we access a state of heightened awareness. We notice subtleties we might otherwise miss. For example, imagine you're sketching a tree. If you're mindful, you'll observe not just its general shape, but also the intricate patterns of its bark, the way light filters through its leaves, and the subtle shifts in color depending on the time of day. These observations enrich your work and spark fresh insights. Observation. Mindfulness trains us to become keen observers of both the external world and our internal landscape. By noticing the details around us, the sound of rain tapping against a window, the texture of fabric beneath our fingertips, or the rhythm of our own breathing, we gather raw material for creative expression. Internally, mindfulness helps us tune into our emotions, thoughts, and bodily sensations. These inner experiences often serve as the foundation for artistic inspiration. Many great works of art, literature, and music were born from artists' deep connection to their own feelings and perceptions. Non-judgment. One of the biggest obstacles to creativity is self-criticism. When we judge ourselves harshly, that idea isn't good enough, I'm not talented, or this will never work, we stifle our natural flow of ideas. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and feelings without attaching labels like good or bad. Instead of rejecting an idea because it seems imperfect, we learn to hold it gently, explore it, and see where it might lead. This attitude of curiosity and openness is fertile ground for innovation. Let me share a personal story to illustrate this point. A few years ago, I was struggling with writer's block. Every time I sat down to write, my inner critic would pipe up, telling me everything I wrote was terrible. Frustrated, I decided to try something different. Before starting each writing session, I spent 5 minutes practicing mindfulness meditation. I focused on my breath, letting go of any expectations or judgments. Slowly, I noticed a shift. My mind felt calmer, quieter. Ideas began to flow more freely. I wasn't censoring myself anymore. I was simply exploring. That simple practice transformed my relationship with writing and reminded me of the power of mindfulness to unlock creativity. Now let's bring this concept to life with a guided mindfulness exercise. Find a comfortable position, either sitting upright or lying down. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Now direct your attention to your senses. What do you hear right now? Perhaps it's the hum of distant traffic, the rustle of leaves, or the faint ticking of a clock. Notice these sounds without labeling them as pleasant or unpleasant. Simply observe. Next, shift your focus to your body. How does it feel to sit or lie in this position? Is there tension in your shoulders, warmth in your hands, coolness on your skin? Again, no need to change anything, just notice. Finally, turn your awareness inward. What thoughts are passing through your mind? What emotions are present? Maybe you're feeling calm, curious, or even a little restless. Whatever arises is okay. Acknowledge it gently, then let it drift away like a cloud crossing the sky. Take another deep breath in and exhale. How do you feel? Lighter, more grounded, more open. This is the essence of mindfulness, a state of clarity and receptivity that invites creativity to flourish. Now let's talk about how you can integrate mindfulness into your daily life to support your creative process. Here are a few practical tips. Start your day mindfully. Begin each morning with a few minutes of mindfulness meditation or conscious breathing. Set an intention for the day, for example. Today I will approach challenges with curiosity. This sets a positive tone and primes your mind for creative thinking. Create rituals around your creative work. Whether you're writing, painting, or brainstorming, establish a ritual that signals to your brain it's time to focus. Light a candle, sip a cup of tea, or listen to calming music. These small acts signal to your subconscious that you're entering a sacred space for creation. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a form of mindfulness that shifts your perspective and opens your heart. Take a few moments each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. This practice cultivates joy and inspires you to create from a place of abundance rather than lack. Engage fully in everyday activities. Treat mundane tasks as opportunities for mindfulness. When washing dishes, notice the warmth of the water and the scent of soap. When walking, pay attention to the rhythm of your steps and the sensation of air against your skin. These moments of presence sharpen your observational skills, which feed directly into your creative work. Embrace solitude. While collaboration can be incredibly valuable, solitude is equally important for creativity. Carve out time to be alone with your thoughts. Go for a walk in nature, sit quietly in a park, or simply unplug from technology for a while. Silence gives your mind room to wander and dream. Let's pause for a moment to reflect on these suggestions. Which ones resonate with you? Are there areas where you'd like to incorporate more mindfulness into your routine? Remember, you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small, one mindful breath, one intentional action at a time. Before we conclude this chapter, I want to address a common misconception that mindfulness requires hours of meditation or a strict regimen. While formal meditation can be incredibly beneficial, mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated. It's about bringing awareness to whatever you're doing, whenever you're doing it. Even pausing to take 3 deep breaths during a hectic day counts as mindfulness. Over time, these small moments add up, creating lasting changes in how you think, feel, and create. As we wrap up Chapter 2, I invite you to carry this sense of mindfulness forward. Notice how it influences your creative process, not just today, but in the days and weeks ahead. Pay attention to moments when you feel stuck or uninspired, and ask yourself, could mindfulness help me move through this? Experiment with the tools we've discussed and trust that every step you take brings you closer to unlocking your full creative potential. Let's continue this journey together. Chapter 3: Meditation as a Gateway to Inspiration. Welcome to Chapter 3 of our journey together. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most transformative practices for nurturing creativity and inner peace: meditation. Often misunderstood as something only monks or spiritual seekers do, meditation is actually a simple yet profound tool that anyone can use to quiet the mind, connect with their inner wisdom, and unlock inspiration. Meditation has been practiced for thousands of years in Buddhist traditions, and its benefits are now being validated by modern science. At its core, meditation is about cultivating awareness. It's about creating space between your thoughts, emotions, and sensations so you can observe them without attachment. This clarity not only reduces stress, but also opens the door to creative insights. But here's the thing. Meditation isn't just about clearing your mind or achieving some elusive state of enlightenment. It's about training your mind to be more present, focused, and open. And when you combine those qualities with creativity, magic happens. Ideas flow more freely. Solutions appear where none seemed possible before. You begin to see the world and yourself through fresh eyes. Let's start by understanding why meditation is such a powerful catalyst for creativity. There are 3 key reasons. It calms the mind, sharpens focus, and fosters self-awareness. Calming the mind. When we meditate, we give ourselves permission to step away from the constant chatter of our thoughts. We create a buffer between stimulus and response, allowing us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This mental calmness creates fertile ground for creativity to emerge. Think of it like tilling the soil before planting seeds. The quieter the mind, the better prepared it is to receive new ideas. Sharpening focus. Creativity often requires sustained attention. Whether you're writing a novel, designing a logo, or brainstorming solutions to a problem, focus is essential. Meditation strengthens your ability to concentrate by training your brain to stay anchored in the present moment. Over time, this enhanced focus allows you to dive deeper into your creative work, exploring nuances and connections you might otherwise miss. Fostering self-awareness. Finally, meditation helps you develop a deeper understanding of yourself, your thoughts, emotions, values, and desires. This self-awareness is crucial for creativity because it gives you access to your authentic voice. Instead of imitating others or chasing external validation, you learn to create from a place of truth and meaning. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's delve into a specific type of meditation rooted in Buddhist tradition, Vipassana, which means insight. Vipassana meditation involves observing your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations without judgment. The goal isn't to stop thinking altogether, it's to become aware of how your mind operates and how fleeting thoughts really are. By practicing Vipassana, you cultivate detachment from your inner dialogue, giving yourself the freedom to explore new possibilities. Here's how Vipassana works. You sit quietly, focusing on your breath. As thoughts arise, and they will, you acknowledge them gently, then let them pass like clouds drifting across the sky. You don't cling to them or push them away, you simply observe. Over time, this practice teaches you to relate to your thoughts differently. Instead of identifying with them, I am my thoughts, you realize they're just passing phenomena. This shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating, especially when it comes to creativity. Let's try a guided Vipassana meditation together. Find a comfortable position, either sitting upright or lying down. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Now bring your attention to your breath. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and leaving your body. Don't try to control your breathing, just let it happen naturally. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Gently bring your focus back to your breath. As you continue breathing, notice any thoughts that arise. They might be images, words, memories, or even physical sensations. Whatever they are, simply observe them. Picture each thought as a cloud floating across the sky. Watch it drift by without holding on to it or analyzing it. If judgments arise, this isn't working, I'm doing it wrong, or my mind won't stop. Acknowledge them kindly, then return to your breath. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. The act of showing up is enough. Stay with this practice for the next few minutes. Allow yourself to settle into stillness. Notice how your body feels, how your mind begins to quiet, and how a sense of spaciousness emerges. How do you feel? Do you notice any shifts in your energy or mood? Perhaps you feel lighter, calmer, or more centered. Even if you didn't experience anything dramatic, trust that the seeds of mindfulness have been planted. Every moment of meditation contributes to long-term changes in your brain and behavior. Now let's talk about how you can integrate meditation into your daily life to support your creative process. Here are some practical tips. Start small. If you're new to meditation, begin with just 5-10 minutes a day. Set a timer so you don't have to worry about keeping track of time. Gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. Consistency matters more than length. Create a sacred space. Designate a quiet corner of your home as your meditation spot. Add elements that inspire you, a cushion, a candle, a plant, or an inspiring quote. Having a dedicated space reinforces your commitment to the practice. Use guided meditations. If sitting in silence feels intimidating at first, try using guided meditations. There are countless apps and YouTube videos available, including content from channels like the Mindful Zone. These resources can provide structure and encouragement as you build your confidence. Experiment with different techniques. While Vipassana is a powerful practice, it's not the only form of meditation. Explore other styles such as loving-kindness meditation, visualization, or mantra-based meditation. Each technique offers unique benefits and may resonate differently depending on your needs and preferences. Pair meditation with creative activities. Use meditation as a warm-up for your creative work. Spend 5-10 minutes meditating before diving into painting, writing, or brainstorming. This transition helps clear mental clutter and primes your mind for flow. Be patient with yourself. Like any skill, meditation takes time to master. Some days, your mind will feel restless. Other days, you'll sink effortlessly into stillness. Both experiences are valuable. Trust the process and celebrate your progress along the way. Now let's reflect on the connection between meditation and inspiration. Have you ever noticed that your best ideas often come when you're least expecting them? Maybe it's during a shower, a walk, or right before falling asleep. These moments of insight occur because your mind is relaxed, free from the pressure to perform. Meditation creates a similar state of receptivity, inviting inspiration to bubble up naturally. To illustrate this point, consider the story of a famous composer who struggled with writer's block. Frustrated, he decided to take a break from composing and spend time meditating instead. During one session, he envisioned an entire symphony unfolding in his mind. He rushed to write it down, and the result became one of his most celebrated works. Stories like this remind us that creativity doesn't always require effort. It often arises when we let go and allow ourselves to receive. Before we conclude this chapter, I want to emphasize that meditation isn't a quick fix. It's a lifelong practice that evolves over time. Some days, you'll feel deeply connected to your inner self. Other days, you'll struggle to find focus. That's part of the journey. What matters most is showing up consistently, trusting that every session contributes to your growth. As we move forward, I invite you to make meditation a regular part of your routine. Treat it as a gift to yourself, a chance to slow down, recharge, and reconnect with your innate creativity. Over time, you'll discover that meditation isn't just a tool for relaxation, it's a gateway to infinite possibility. Let's keep exploring. Chapter 4. Cultivating compassion for yourself and others. Welcome to Chapter 4 of our journey together. In this chapter, we're going to explore a topic that is deeply intertwined with creativity, mindfulness, and personal growth: compassion. Specifically, we'll focus on cultivating compassion, not just for others, but perhaps most importantly for ourselves. Compassion is the ability to recognize suffering and respond with kindness, understanding, and care. It's a quality that lies at the heart of many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, which teaches that compassion is one of the highest forms of wisdom. But here's the thing, compassion isn't just about altruism or being nice. It's also a powerful catalyst for creativity and well-being. When we treat ourselves and others with compassion, we create an environment where inspiration can flourish. Let's start by unpacking why self-compassion is so essential for creativity. Many of us struggle with perfectionism, fear of failure, or harsh self-criticism when engaging in creative pursuits. We tell ourselves stories like, "My work isn't good enough, I'll never be as talented as them," or "If I can't do it perfectly, I shouldn't bother trying." These narratives block our natural flow of ideas and stifle our willingness to take risks. Self-compassion flips this script. Instead of berating ourselves for mistakes or shortcomings, we learn to treat ourselves with gentleness and encouragement. We acknowledge that imperfection is part of the human experience, and that it's okay not to have all the answers right away. This shift in mindset frees us to experiment, play, and embrace the process of creation without judgment. Now let's break down what self-compassion looks like in practice. Psychologist Dr. Kristin Neff identifies 3 key components of self-compassion: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Each of these elements plays a vital role in supporting creativity. Self-kindness. Self-kindness means treating yourself with warmth and understanding rather than harsh criticism. Imagine you're working on a painting and something doesn't turn out the way you envisioned. Instead of saying, "This is terrible, I'm such a failure," you might say, "It's okay. Every artist makes mistakes. Let me see what I can learn from this." This kind of language reduces anxiety and opens the door to problem solving. Common humanity reminds us that we're not alone in our struggles. Everyone experiences setbacks, doubts, and frustrations. Yes, even the people whose work inspires us. Recognizing this shared vulnerability helps us feel connected to others and less isolated in our challenges. For example, if you're stuck on a writing project, reminding yourself that countless authors have faced similar blocks can provide comfort and perspective. Mindfulness. Finally, mindfulness involves observing your thoughts and emotions without over-identifying with them. If you're feeling frustrated during a brainstorming session, instead of spiraling into negativity, you can simply notice, frustration is present. This non-judgmental awareness allows you to step back from overwhelming feelings and approach the situation with clarity. Together, these three pillars of self-compassion create a foundation for resilience and creativity. They help us navigate obstacles with grace and curiosity, transforming moments of difficulty into opportunities for growth. Now let's talk about how to cultivate self-compassion in your daily life. Here are some practical exercises you can try. Practice loving kindness. Meditation. Loving kindness meditation, or metta meditation, is a Buddhist practice designed to nurture feelings of goodwill and compassion toward yourself and others. To begin, find a comfortable position and close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Then silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live with ease." After directing these wishes toward yourself, extend them outward to loved ones, acquaintances, strangers, and even people you may find challenging. This practice strengthens your capacity for empathy and connection. Reframe negative self-talk. Pay attention the way you speak to yourself, especially during creative activities. Are you using harsh, critical language? Try replacing those thoughts with compassionate alternatives. For instance, instead of thinking, "I'm no good at this," you might say, "I'm learning and growing every day." Over time, this habit rewires your brain to focus on encouragement rather than discouragement. Write a letter to yourself. Sometimes writing can be a powerful tool for self-reflection. Sit down with pen and paper or a digital document and write a letter to yourself from the perspective of a compassionate friend. What would they say to support and uplift you? How would they remind you of your strengths and potential? Reading this letter back to yourself can foster a sense of unconditional love and acceptance. Celebrate small wins. Creativity often involves incremental progress rather than grand achievements. Make it a habit to celebrate small victories along the way, whether it's finishing a paragraph, sketching a rough outline, or simply showing up to work on your project. Acknowledging these efforts reinforces positive reinforcement and builds confidence. Practice gratitude toward yourself. At the end of each day, reflect on one thing you did well or appreciated about yourself. Maybe you showed patience while learning a new skill, or maybe you stayed committed to your goals despite distractions. Expressing gratitude for your own efforts cultivates a sense of pride and self-worth. Now, let's expand our focus beyond self-compassion to include compassion for others. Why is this important for creativity? Because creativity thrives in community. When we connect with others through acts of kindness, collaboration, and mutual support, we tap into a collective energy that amplifies our individual efforts. Think about how artists throughout history have drawn inspiration from their relationships. Writers often dedicate books to loved ones who believed in them. Musicians collaborate with peers to push boundaries and explore new sounds. Even solo creators benefit from feedback, encouragement, and shared experiences. By nurturing compassion for others, we enrich our creative lives and contribute to a culture of generosity and trust. Here are some ways to practice compassion for others. Listen actively. One of the simplest yet most profound gifts you can offer someone is your full attention. When a friend shares their struggles or aspirations, listen without interrupting or offering unsolicited advice. Simply being present validates their experience and fosters deeper connection. Offer support without expectation. Whether it's helping a colleague brainstorm ideas, sharing resources with fellow creators, or volunteering your time for a cause you care about, give freely without expecting anything in return. Acts of service strengthen bonds and inspire reciprocity. Acknowledge. Effort. Notice and appreciate the hard work others put into their projects. A heartfelt compliment or word of encouragement can go a long way in boosting someone's confidence and motivation. Engage in random acts of kindness. Small gestures, like leaving a kind note, surprising someone with coffee, or volunteering at a local shelter, create ripples of positivity. These actions remind us of our interconnectedness and spark joy in both giver and receiver. Collaborate authentically. Seek opportunities to co-create with others, whether it's joining forces on a joint project, participating in workshops, or engaging in group discussions. Collaborative efforts expose you to fresh perspectives and ideas. Now let's bring these concepts together with a guided exercise designed to deepen your understanding of compassion. Find a comfortable position, either sitting upright or lying down. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale, peace. Exhale, tension. Now picture someone in your life who has shown you kindness, a friend, family member, teacher or mentor. Visualize their face clearly. Recall a specific moment when they supported you or made you feel valued. Allow yourself to fully immerse in that memory, the warmth, the gratitude, the sense of connection. Next, imagine extending that same kindness outward. Who could use your support today? Perhaps it's a co-worker facing a tight deadline, a neighbor struggling with loneliness, or even a stranger standing in line behind you at the store. Silently wish them happiness, health, and ease. Picture your words wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. Finally, turn your attention inward. Offer yourself the same level of care and compassion you've been visualizing for others. Repeat these affirmations silently. I am worthy of love and kindness. My efforts matter. I deserve to thrive. Feel free to personalize them however resonates with you. Carry this intention with you as we continue exploring ways to nurture your creative spirit. Before we wrap up this chapter, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question. How might your creative journey change if you approached it with unwavering compassion for yourself and others? Would you take more risks, pursue projects that truly ignite your passion, surround yourself with supportive collaborators? Trust that every step you take toward cultivating compassion brings you closer to living authentically and creatively. As we transition to the next chapter, I invite you to carry this sense of compassion forward. Notice how it influences your interactions, decisions, and creative expression. Remember, creativity isn't just about producing art, it's about fostering connection, embracing vulnerability, and celebrating the beauty of being human. Let's keep going. Chapter 5: Overcoming Creative Blocks with Mindfulness and Meditation. Welcome, Chapter 5 of our journey together. In this chapter, we're going to tackle one of the most universal and frustrating challenges faced by anyone pursuing creativity: creative block. Whether you're a writer staring at a blank page, a musician stuck on a melody, or someone trying to solve a problem at work, creative blocks can feel like insurmountable walls. But here's the good news. Mindfulness and meditation offer powerful tools to help you move through these obstacles with patience, clarity, and grace. Creative blocks are not failures, they're simply part of the process. Even the most accomplished artists, writers, and innovators experience moments when inspiration seems elusive. The difference lies in how they respond to those moments. Instead of viewing blocks as signs of inadequacy or reasons to give up, they see them as opportunities to pause, reflect, and recalibrate. And that's exactly what we'll explore in this chapter: how mindfulness and meditation can transform frustration into flow, fear into curiosity, and stagnation into momentum. Let's start by understanding why creative blocks happen. There are several common causes, each rooted in how our minds and bodies react to stress, pressure, and uncertainty. Perfectionism. Many creative blocks stem from the desire to create something flawless right out of the gate. Perfectionism paralyzes us because it sets unrealistic expectations and makes failure intolerable. When we obsess over getting everything just right, we lose sight of the joy and experimentation that fuel creativity. Fear of judgment. Fear of criticism, whether from others or ourselves, can silence our creative voice. We worry about what people will think, whether our work is good enough, or if we'll be rejected. This fear creates self-doubt and inhibits risk-taking, which are essential for innovation. Burnout. Pushing ourselves too hard without rest can drain our mental and emotional reserves. When we're exhausted, overwhelmed, or depleted, it becomes nearly impossible to access our creative energy. Burnout forces us to stop, but often at a cost to our confidence and motivation. Lack of inspiration. Sometimes creative blocks arise simply because we're disconnected from sources of inspiration. Life gets busy, routines become monotonous, and we forget to nourish our senses with beauty, novelty, and wonder. Without fresh input, our output suffers. Now that we've identified some of the root causes of creative blocks, let's explore how mindfulness and meditation can help us overcome them. These practices address the underlying issues while fostering resilience, openness, and trust in the creative process. Using mindfulness to navigate creative blocks. Mindfulness teaches us to approach challenges with awareness and acceptance. Rather than resisting or fighting against a block, we learn to sit with it, observe it, and understand its message. Here's how mindfulness helps. Acknowledging resistance without judgment. When you encounter a block, your first instinct might be to panic or criticize yourself. Mindfulness invites you to pause and say, resistance is present. By naming the feeling, you reduce its power over you. You remind yourself that blocks are temporary and manageable. Cultivating patience. Creativity cannot be forced. Mindfulness reminds us to trust the process and respect the ebb and flow of inspiration. Instead of rushing to fix the block, we allow ourselves time to breathe, reflect, and recharge. Expanding awareness. Often creative blocks arise because we're too narrowly focused. Mindfulness encourages us to zoom out, noticing patterns, connections, and possibilities we might have missed. For example, taking a mindful walk in nature might spark an idea that feels unrelated, but ultimately leads to breakthroughs. Reconnecting with joy. Remember why you started creating in the first place. Mindfulness helps you return to the pure pleasure of making something from nothing, the childlike delight of exploring, experimenting, and discovering. To illustrate this point, consider the story of a novelist who struggled with writer's block for months. Frustrated, she decided to take a break from her manuscript and spend time gardening instead. As she planted seeds, watered soil, and watched flowers bloom, she realized she was learning valuable lessons about patience, growth, and imperfection. These insights seeped into her writing, reigniting her passion and helping her complete her book. Stories like this remind us that sometimes stepping away allows us to step forward. Using meditation to release creative block. Meditation complements mindfulness by creating space for deep reflection and insight. It helps quiet the noise in our minds, allowing buried ideas and emotions to surface naturally. Let's look at specific ways meditation can support you during creative blocks. Clearing mental clutter. Meditation acts like a reset button for your brain. By focusing on your breath or a mantra, you clear away distracting thoughts and make room for new ones. This mental decluttering can reveal hidden solutions or untapped reservoirs of inspiration. Accessing subconscious wisdom. Much of our creativity resides in the subconscious mind, the part that dreams, imagines, and intuits. Meditation lowers the barriers between conscious and subconscious thought, giving you access to rich inner resources, building emotional resilience. Creative blocks often trigger strong emotions like frustration, shame, or anxiety. Meditation helps regulate these feelings, reducing their intensity and preventing them from derailing your progress. Strengthening focus and flow. Regular meditation enhances your ability to concentrate and enter a state of flow, a term coined by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi to describe peak performance and effortless creativity. Flow occurs when you're fully immersed in an activity free from distractions and self-consciousness. Let's try a guided meditation specifically designed to release creative blocks. Find a comfortable position, either sitting upright or lying down. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Now bring your attention to the block you're currently facing. What does it feel like? Is it heavy, tight, or foggy? Where do you notice it in your body? Perhaps it's a knot in your stomach, a weight on your chest, or a haze in your mind. Acknowledge its presence without judgment. Next, imagine breathing light into that area. With each inhale, visualize golden sunlight filling the space where the block resides. As you exhale, picture the block dissolving into thin air. Continue this visualization for a few minutes, trusting that clarity and ease are returning to you. If any thoughts or emotions arise during this process, greet them kindly. Say to yourself, "Thank you for sharing, but I'm releasing you now." Then gently return your focus to the image of light dissolving the block. Take another deep breath in and exhale. How do you feel? Do you sense any shifts in your energy or perspective? Even subtle changes are worth celebrating. Practical strategies to move through creative blocks. While mindfulness and meditation provide foundational support, practical strategies can further accelerate your progress. Here are some techniques to try. Change your environment. Sometimes a change of scenery is all it takes to shake loose new ideas. Go for a walk, visit a museum, rearrange your workspace, or travel somewhere unfamiliar. Fresh environments stimulate fresh thinking. Set micro goals. Break large tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of aiming to write an entire chapter, commit to drafting just one paragraph. Small wins build momentum and boost confidence. Limit distractions. Identify what's pulling your attention away from your creative work. Social media, emails, household chores, and set boundaries around it. Use tools like website blockers or timers to stay focused. Engage in playful activities. Creativity flourishes when we approach it with playfulness rather than seriousness. Doodle aimlessly, free-write nonsense, or experiment with unconventional materials. The goal isn't perfection, it's exploration. Seek feedback. Share your work with trusted friends, mentors, or collaborators. Constructive feedback can highlight blind spots and inspire new directions. Practice gratitude. Reflect on aspects of your creative journey that bring you joy or fulfillment. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, opening you up to possibilities. Rest and recharge. Don't underestimate the importance of rest. Sleep, relaxation, and downtime are essential for processing information and generating insights. Give yourself permission to pause without guilt. Embracing the beauty of creative blocks. Finally, let's reframe how we view creative blocks altogether. Rather than seeing them as enemies to overcome, consider them allies pointing you toward growth. Each block carries a lesson about patience, humility, courage, or resilience. By leaning into discomfort and trusting the process, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your authentic creative voice. As we conclude this chapter, I invite you to reflect on your relationship with creative blocks. How have they shaped your journey so far? What strengths have you developed by navigating them? Trust that every challenge you face is preparing you for greater heights ahead. Let's keep moving forward. Chapter 6. Using visualization techniques to unlock creativity. Welcome to Chapter 6 of our journey together. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most powerful tools for activating creativity, visualization. Often associated with goal setting or manifestation practices, visualization is far more than just imagining success. It's a dynamic technique that can help you access untapped potential, clarify your vision, and bring your ideas to life. When combined with mindfulness and meditation, visualization becomes a transformative practice that bridges the gap between imagination and reality. Visualization works because our brains respond to vivid mental imagery as if it were real. Studies have shown that visualizing an action activates similar neural pathways as actually performing that action. For example, athletes who visualize themselves executing perfect routines often perform better in competition because their minds and bodies are primed for success. The same principle applies to creativity. By vividly imagining the outcomes we desire, whether it's completing a painting, writing a book, or solving a complex problem, we program our subconscious minds to align with those goals, making them feel attainable and inspiring us to take action. Let's begin by understanding what visualization entails and why it's such a potent tool for unlocking creativity. At its core, visualization involves creating detailed mental images of the results you want to achieve. These images aren't random, they're intentional, sensory-rich depictions designed to evoke emotion, clarity, and motivation. Whether you're envisioning the final product of your creative work or simply picturing yourself immersed in the process, visualization helps you connect deeply with your aspirations. Now let's break down how visualization supports creativity through 3 key mechanisms: focus, confidence, and inspiration. Focus. Creative projects often require sustained attention over long periods. Visualization sharpens your focus by giving you a clear target to aim for. Instead of wandering aimlessly, you direct your energy towards specific goals, breaking through distractions and staying aligned with your purpose. Confidence. Many people hesitate to pursue their creative dreams because they doubt their abilities or fear failure. Visualization builds confidence by allowing you to rehearse success mentally before taking physical steps. As you repeatedly imagine yourself achieving your goals, your belief in your capacity to succeed grows stronger. Inspiration. Finally, visualization sparks inspiration by engaging your imagination. When you picture vibrant scenes, compelling characters, or innovative solutions, you activate parts of your brain responsible for generating new ideas. This heightened state of creativity can lead to unexpected breakthroughs and fresh perspectives. How to practice visualization effectively? To harness the full power of visualization, it's important to approach it with intention and consistency. Here's a step-by-step guide to practicing visualization effectively. Find a quiet space. Choose a calm environment where you won't be interrupted. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Relax your body and mind. Take several deep breaths to center yourself. Feel tension melting away from your muscles. Allow your thoughts to settle, focusing solely on the present moment. Set an intention. Decide what you'd like to visualize. It could be a finished project, a particular scene, or even the feeling of being fully immersed in your creative flow. Be specific about what you want to see, hear, and feel. Engage all your senses. Visualization isn't just about seeing, it's about experiencing. Imagine not only how your creation looks, but also how it sounds, smells, feels, and even tastes, if applicable. For instance, if you're visualizing a completed novel, picture the cover design, hear the rustle of pages turning, smell the ink, and feel the weight of the book in your hands. Evoke positive emotions. Visualization is most effective when it's infused with positive emotions like joy, excitement, and pride. As you imagine your desired outcome, allow yourself to feel the satisfaction of having achieved it. Let these emotions fuel your determination and enthusiasm. Make it vivid and detailed. The more lifelike your visualization, the more impactful it will be. Add textures, colors, movements, and nuances to make the image come alive in your mind. For example, if you're visualizing a painting, notice the brushstrokes, the interplay of light and shadow, and the vibrancy of the palette. Practice regularly. Like any skill, visualization improves with repetition. Dedicate a few minutes each day to visualizing your goals. Over time, this practice will strengthen your ability to manifest your visions into reality. Now let's try a guided visualization exercise together. Find a comfortable position, either sitting upright or lying down. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Now bring to mind a creative project you're currently working on, or one you'd love to start. It could be anything. A story you want to write, a song you want to compose, a garden you want to design, or even a solution to a challenge at work. Picture it clearly in your mind's eye. What does it look like? See the colors, shapes, and details. If it's a painting, imagine the canvas filled with bold strokes of color. If it's a piece of writing, visualize the words flowing effortlessly onto the page. What does it sound like? Hear the rhythm of your pen scratching against paper, the melody of your song, or the hum of productivity around you. What does it feel like? Feel the texture of the materials you're using, the smoothness of clay, the softness of fabric, or the coolness of metal. Notice the warmth of accomplishment spreading through your chest. Stay with this image for a few moments. Let it expand and deepen. Feel the excitement bubbling up inside you. Trust that this vision is within reach. Take another deep breath in and exhale. How do you feel? Do you sense a surge of motivation or clarity? Even fleeting impressions are valuable. Carry this energy forward as we continue exploring ways to nurture your creativity. Visualization techniques tailored for creativity. While general visualization exercises are beneficial, tailoring them to your specific creative needs can amplify their impact. Here are some specialized techniques to try. Reverse engineering. Start with the end result in mind and work backward. Visualize the finished product first, then imagine the steps required to get there. This method helps you identify potential obstacles and plan accordingly. For example, if you're designing a website, picture the final layout, then break it down into wireframes, content drafts, and coding phases. Mind mapping. Combine visualization with brainstorming by creating a mental map of interconnected ideas. Close your eyes and imagine a central concept, branching out into related themes, colors, textures, and possibilities. This technique stimulates associative thinking and encourages unconventional connections. Emotional anchoring. Focus on the feelings you associate with your creative work rather than the technical aspects. For instance, if you're writing a memoir, visualize the emotional arc of your story, the highs, lows, triumphs, and reflections. Tapping into these emotions can infuse your work with authenticity and depth. Future self. Visualization. Imagine yourself in the future, having already achieved your creative goals. What does your life look like? How do others perceive your work? How do you feel about yourself? This exercise reinforces your commitment and motivates you to take actionable steps today. Collaborative visualization. Invite others to join you in a group visualization session. Share your visions, listen to theirs, and co-create a shared mental landscape. Collaborative visualization fosters teamwork, inspires fresh perspectives, and strengthens community bonds. Overcoming common challenges in visualization. Despite its benefits, visualization can sometimes feel challenging, especially if you're new to the practice. Here are some common hurdles and how to overcome them. Difficulty creating clear images. Not everyone naturally sees vivid pictures in their mind. That's okay. Visualization doesn't have to be purely visual. You can engage other senses like sound, touch, or smell to create a rich internal experience. Negative thoughts. Creeping in, doubts or fears may arise during visualization. Greet them kindly, acknowledge their presence, and gently redirect your focus back to your intended outcome. Remember, visualization is a practice of cultivating positivity and possibility, impatience for results. Visualization is a gradual process. While some people report immediate shifts, others may need time to integrate the changes into their daily lives. Trust the journey and celebrate small victories along the way. Feeling silly or skeptical. If visualization feels unfamiliar or unscientific, remind yourself of the research supporting its effectiveness. Approach it with curiosity and openness, treating it as an experiment rather than a requirement. The science behind visualization. Visualization isn't just a mystical concept, it's grounded in neuroscience and psychology. Studies show that mental rehearsal activates the same regions of the brain as physical action. For example, pianists who visualize playing scales demonstrate increased activity in motor cortex areas, even without touching a keyboard. Similarly, writers who imagine crafting sentences exhibit enhanced language processing capabilities. This scientific foundation underscores the importance of integrating visualization into your creative routine. By training your brain to simulate desired outcomes, you prime yourself for success and reduce resistance to taking action. Real-life examples of visualization in action. To illustrate the power of visualization, consider the story of a filmmaker who struggled with writer's block while developing a screenplay. Frustrated, she decided to spend 10 minutes each morning visualizing her movie as if it were already complete. She pictured the opening scene, the climactic moment, and the audience's reaction. Within weeks, her script began flowing effortlessly, and she eventually secured funding to produce the film. Stories like this highlight how visualization can turn abstract ideas into tangible achievements. Closing reflections. As we wrap up this chapter, I invite you to reflect on how visualization can enhance your creative journey. What goals would you like to visualize? What emotions do you want to embody? Trust that every mental image you create brings you closer to manifesting your dreams. Remember, visualization isn't about escaping reality, it's about shaping it. By combining vivid imagination with mindful awareness, you unlock doors to infinite possibilities. So embrace this practice with courage and curiosity, knowing that your visions have the power to transform your world. Let's keep going. Chapter 7. Drawing inspiration from nature. Welcome to Chapter 7 of our journey together. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most timeless and universal sources of inspiration, nature. From ancient poets to modern-day innovators, countless creators have turned to the natural world for guidance, solace, and creative fuel. Nature has an unparalleled ability to awaken our senses, spark wonder, and remind us of the interconnectedness of all things. And today we'll discover how mindfulness and meditation can deepen your connection to nature, helping you draw boundless inspiration for your creative endeavors. Nature is more than just a backdrop. It's a teacher, a muse, and a mirror reflecting the beauty and complexity of life itself. When we immerse ourselves in the rhythms of the earth, we tap into a wellspring of creativity that flows effortlessly. Whether it's the intricate patterns of a leaf, the soothing cadence of ocean waves, or the vibrant colors of a sunset, nature offers endless opportunities to observe, reflect, and create. But here's the thing. You don't need to live near mountains or oceans to benefit from nature's wisdom. Even small moments spent outdoors, or simply bringing elements of nature into your home, can profoundly impact your mindset and creative process. Let's delve into why nature is such a powerful catalyst for creativity and how mindfulness enhances our ability to connect with it. Why nature inspires creativity. There are several reasons why nature ignites our creative spirit. Understanding these mechanisms can help us harness its power more effectively. Restoring mental energy. Studies have shown that spending time in nature reduces cognitive fatigue and restores mental energy. Urban environments often bombard us with stimuli, traffic noise, advertisements, crowded spaces that deplete our attention span. In contrast, natural settings provide a calming respite, allowing our minds to recharge and wander freely. This restoration of mental resources makes space for new ideas to emerge. Awakening curiosity. Nature invites us to explore and notice details we might otherwise overlook. The way light filters through trees, the sound of wind rustling leaves, or the texture of bark beneath our fingertips. All these sensory experiences stimulate curiosity and observation skills essential for creativity. Fostering connection. Nature reminds us of our place within a larger ecosystem. The sense of interconnectedness fosters empathy, gratitude, and humility, qualities that enrich our creative expression. For example, when we marvel at the resilience of a flower growing through concrete, we may feel inspired to persevere in our own challenges. Encouraging playfulness. Nature encourages a childlike sense of play, skipping stones across a pond, climbing a tree, or lying in the grass watching clouds drift by. All these activities rekindle the joy and spontaneity that fuel creativity. Providing metaphors and symbolism. Nature is rich with metaphors and symbols that resonate deeply with human experience. Think of storms representing chaos, rivers symbolizing flow, or seasons embodying cycles of change. These natural analogies can inspire storytelling, art, music, and problem-solving. Mindful engagement with nature. While simply being in nature is beneficial, approaching it mindfully amplifies its impact. Mindfulness involves paying deliberate attention to the present moment without judgment. When applied to nature, this practice transforms passive observation into active engagement, deepening your connection and unlocking fresh insights. Here's how to practice mindful engagement with nature. Use all your senses. Instead of focusing solely on visual details, engage all 5 senses. Feel the texture of moss, smell the earth after rain, listen to birdsong, taste the crispness of autumn air, and notice the subtle shifts in temperature. Sensory immersion anchors you in the present and heightens awareness. Adopt a beginner's mind. Approach nature with Shoshin, or beginner's mind, a concept we discussed earlier. Let go of preconceived notions and allow yourself to see familiar landscapes anew. For instance, instead of thinking, "I've seen this park 100 times, ask yourself, what am I noticing today that I haven't before? Practice gratitude. As you walk through a forest or sit by a stream, pause to express gratitude for the beauty surrounding you. Silently thank the trees for their shade, the sun for its warmth, or the breeze for its cool touch. Gratitude cultivates awe and appreciation, which are fertile ground for creativity. Engage in eco-meditation. Eco-meditation combines traditional meditation techniques with a focus on nature. Sit quietly outdoors, close your eyes, and tune into the sounds, smells, and sensations around you. Imagine roots extending from your body into the earth, grounding you and connecting you to the web of life. Document your observations. Bring a journal or camera with you to capture moments of inspiration. Write down poetic descriptions, sketch scenes, or take photos of textures and colors that catch your eye. These records serve as creative prompts later on. Let's try a guided eco-meditation exercise together. Find a comfortable spot outdoors, whether it's a park, garden, balcony, or even a window overlooking greenery. Sit upright or lie down, depending on what feels best for you. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale peace. Exhale tension. Now direct your attention outward. What do you hear? Perhaps it's the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, or the distant hum of insects. Notice these sounds without labeling them as pleasant or unpleasant. Simply observe. Next, shift your focus to your body. How does it feel to sit or lie in this environment? Is there warmth from the sun, coolness from the breeze, groundedness from the earth beneath you? Again, no need to change anything, just notice. Finally, turn your awareness inward. What thoughts are passing through your mind? What emotions are present? Maybe you're feeling calm, curious, or even a little restless. Whatever arises is perfectly okay. Acknowledge it gently, then let it drift away like a cloud crossing the sky. Take another deep breath in and exhale. How do you feel? Do you sense a greater connection to your surroundings? A heightened awareness of beauty and possibility? Carry this energy forward as we continue exploring ways to nurture your creativity. Pause for 5 minutes with soft ambient sounds playing in the background. Creative practices inspired by nature. Nature not only inspires us emotionally, but also provides practical tools for creative exploration. Here are some activities you can try to integrate nature into your creative routine. Nature walks with intention. Go for a walk in a natural setting, but set an intention beforehand. For example, focus on collecting interesting textures, like smooth stones or fallen leaves, to use in a collage. Or challenge yourself to find 10 shades of green and incorporate them into your artwork. Seasonal reflections. Align your creative projects with the changing seasons. In spring, explore themes of renewal and growth. In summer, celebrate abundance and vitality. In autumn, reflect on transformation and letting go. In winter, embrace stillness and introspection. Land art. Create temporary sculptures using natural materials like sticks, rocks, or sand. Land art encourages experimentation and teaches you to work with what's available, fostering adaptability and resourcefulness. Nature journaling. Keep a dedicated journal where you document your interactions with nature. Include sketches, pressed flowers, poems, or reflections on how certain experiences made you feel. Over time, this journal becomes a treasure trove of creative prompts, soundscapes and music. Record natural sounds, rain falling, waves crashing, wind blowing, and use them as inspiration for composing music or ambient tracks. Alternatively, write lyrics inspired by the mood of a particular landscape. Color palettes. Observe the colors in nature and translate them into palettes for your creative work. For example, the muted tones of a misty morning might inspire a painting, while the vibrant hues of a sunset could guide a fashion design. Overcoming barriers to connecting with nature. Despite its benefits, many people struggle to spend meaningful time in nature due to various barriers. Here's how to overcome common obstacles. Lack of access. If you live in an urban area or don't have easy access to wilderness, seek out local parks, botanical gardens, or community green spaces. Even houseplants or window boxes can bring a touch of nature indoors. Time constraints. You don't need hours to benefit from nature. A 10-minute walk during lunch or a few moments gazing at the stars at night can be incredibly restorative. Weather concerns. Rain, snow, or extreme heat doesn't mean you have to stay inside. Dress appropriately and embrace the unique qualities of different weather conditions. For example, photograph raindrops on leaves or sketch frost-covered branches. Distractions. Leave your phone behind or put it on airplane mode to fully immerse yourself in the experience. Resist the urge to check notifications or scroll through social media. Stories of nature-inspired creativity. To illustrate the transformative power of nature, consider the story of a photographer who felt uninspired and burned out. Determined to reignite her passion, she began taking daily walks in a nearby forest. During these walks, she practiced mindful observation, capturing fleeting moments of light and shadow with her camera. Over time, her photographs evolved from ordinary snapshots into evocative works of art that resonated deeply with viewers. Nature had reawakened her creative voice. Another example comes from a writer struggling with writer's block. She decided to spend a weekend camping by a lake. Each morning, she wrote freely, drawing inspiration from the water's shimmering surface and the calls of loons echoing across the shoreline. By the end of the trip, she had drafted an entire short story infused with vivid imagery and emotional depth. Closing reflections. As we conclude this chapter, I invite you to reflect on your relationship with nature. When was the last time you truly immersed yourself in the natural world? How did it make you feel? Trust that every moment spent connecting with nature contributes to your creative growth. Remember, nature isn't separate from you, it's a part of you. By cultivating a mindful relationship with the earth, you align yourself with its rhythms and wisdom, tapping into a source of inspiration that never runs dry. So step outside, breathe deeply, and let the beauty of the world guide your creative journey. Let's keep moving forward. Chapter 8. Journaling as a pathway to creativity and self-discovery. Welcome to Chapter 8 of our journey together. In this chapter, we're going to explore one of the most accessible yet profoundly transformative tools for nurturing creativity and mindfulness: journaling. Often dismissed as a simple habit reserved for diarists or writers, journaling is far more than just putting pen to paper. It's a practice that can unlock hidden insights, clarify your thoughts, and serve as a bridge between your inner world and outer expression. When combined with mindfulness and meditation, journaling becomes a powerful ally in your creative journey. Journaling has been used for centuries by thinkers, artists, and innovators to process emotions, generate ideas, and document personal growth. From Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks filled with sketches and musings to Frida Kahlo's intimate journals capturing her pain and resilience, journaling has proven itself as a timeless tool for self-discovery and artistic exploration. But here's the thing, you don't need to be a genius or an artist to benefit from journaling. It's a universal practice that anyone can use to cultivate clarity, curiosity, and inspiration. Let's begin by understanding why journaling is such a potent catalyst for creativity. At its core, journaling provides a safe space to explore without judgment. Whether you're brainstorming ideas, reflecting on challenges, or simply recording fleeting thoughts, the act of writing helps externalize what's swirling inside your mind. This process not only clears mental clutter, but also reveals patterns, connections, and possibilities that might otherwise remain hidden. Now, let's break down how journaling supports creativity through 3 key mechanisms: reflection, experimentation, and emotional release. Reflection. Journaling encourages introspection, allowing you to pause and examine your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. By reflecting on where you've been and where you want to go, you gain clarity about your goals and motivations. This clarity fuels intentionality in your creative work. Reflection also helps you recognize progress, no matter how small, reinforcing your confidence and commitment. Experimentation. Unlike polished essays or finished artworks, journal entries are raw and unfiltered. They give you permission to play, make mistakes, and try new approaches without fear of judgment. This freedom fosters innovation and risk-taking. For example, you might experiment with stream of consciousness writing, sketching alongside your words, or even collaging images into your journal. The lack of rules makes journaling a fertile ground for unexpected breakthroughs. Emotional release. Many creative blocks stem from unresolved emotions like frustration, fear, or sadness. Journaling provides an outlet for processing these feelings, freeing up mental space for fresh ideas to emerge. Writing about your struggles can also help you reframe them, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. For instance, instead of viewing failure as a dead end, journaling can help you see it as a stepping stone toward mastery. how to start a mindful journaling practice. If you're new to journaling, or if you've struggled to maintain consistency, don't worry. The beauty of journaling lies in its flexibility. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The goal is to show up authentically and allow your thoughts to flow freely. Here are some tips to get started. Choose your tools. Thoughtfully, select a notebook and pen that feel inviting to you. Whether it's a sleek leather journal, a spiral-bound notebook, or even loose sheets of paper, choose something that inspires you to write. Some people prefer digital tools like apps or tablets, which offer convenience and organization features. The tactile experience of writing by hand, however, often deepens the connection to your thoughts and emotions. Set aside dedicated time. Consistency matters more than frequency. Decide when and where you'll journal, whether it's first thing in the morning, during lunch breaks, or before bed, and stick to it as much as possible. Even 5 minutes a day can yield meaningful results over time. Creating a ritual around journaling, like lighting a candle, sipping tea, or meditating beforehand, can signal to your brain that it's time to reflect and create. Write without judgment. Approach journaling with a spirit of openness and acceptance. Don't worry about grammar, spelling, or structure. Let your words spill onto the page without editing or censoring yourself. Remember, this is for your eyes only, unless you choose to share it. If the negative thoughts arise, acknowledge them kindly rather than suppressing them. Journaling isn't about producing perfect prose, it's about being honest with yourself. Use prompts to spark ideas. If you're unsure where to begin, prompts can guide your writing and ignite curiosity. For example, what am I grateful for today? Or, what would my ideal day look like? Prompts provide direction while leaving room for interpretation. Over time, you may find that your own questions and reflections naturally arise, making prompts unnecessary. Combine journaling with meditation. Before opening your journal, spend a few moments meditating or practicing mindful breathing. This calms your mind and sets the stage for deeper introspection. Afterward, let your pen move intuitively, capturing whatever arises. This combination of meditation and journaling creates a seamless flow between stillness and expression. Experiment with formats. While traditional long-form writing is common, journaling can take many forms. Try bullet points for quick notes, diagrams for visual thinkers, poetry for lyrical expression, or doodles for playful creativity. Mixing formats keeps the practice engaging and allows you to adapt it to your mood or needs. Reflect regularly on past entries. Periodically revisit older entries to track your progress. Identify recurring themes and celebrate milestones. Seeing how far you've come can inspire continued growth and remind you of your resilience. The science behind journaling. While journaling feels intuitive and personal, it's also backed by science. Research shows that expressive writing, the act of putting your thoughts and emotions into words, has numerous psychological and physical benefits. Studies have found that regular journaling reduces stress, improves immune function, enhances memory, and boosts overall well-being. These effects are particularly relevant for creativity because they reduce mental fatigue and increase cognitive flexibility, enabling you to approach problems with fresh perspectives. One fascinating study conducted by psychologist James Pennebaker demonstrated that participants who wrote about their deepest thoughts and feelings for just 20 minutes a day over 4 consecutive days experienced significant improvements in both mental and physical health. The act of articulating emotions helped participants process trauma, resolve conflicts, and gain insight into their lives. Similarly, journaling can help creators untangle complex ideas, overcome creative blocks, and reconnect with their passions. Creative journaling techniques. To maximize the impact of journaling on your creativity, consider incorporating these specialized techniques into your practice. Morning pages. Popularized by Julia Cameron in her book, The Artist's Way. Morning pages involve writing 3 longhand pages of stream of consciousness, thought first thing upon waking. The idea is to clear your mind of clutter and tap into your subconscious before the demands of the day take over. Morning pages are uncensored and unedited, allowing your inner voice to speak freely. Gratitude lists. Start or end your journaling session by listing 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, fostering positivity and optimism. This mindset primes your brain for creative thinking and problem solving. Vision boards in words. Instead of creating a visual vision board, write out your dreams, goals, and aspirations in detail. Describe how achieving them will feel, what steps you'll take to get there, and any obstacles you anticipate. This exercise clarifies your intentions and motivates action. Dialogue with yourself. Write a conversation between different parts of your personality, for example, your inner critic versus your inner cheerleader. This technique helps you understand conflicting emotions and develop compassion for all aspects of yourself. It also strengthens your ability to navigate challenges creatively. Nature-inspired entries. Take your journal outdoors and record observations from nature. Sketch leaves, describe cloud formations, or write haikus inspired by the changing seasons. Engaging with the natural world through journaling deepens your connection to it and sparks awe-inspiring ideas. Unsent letters. Sometimes emotions need an outlet that doesn't involve direct communication. Write letters to people, places, or even abstract concepts like fear or hope. Pour out your heart without worrying about sending them. This cathartic process releases pent-up energy and clears space for creativity. Mind maps. Use your journal to create mind maps, visual representations of interconnected ideas. Start with a central concept in the middle of the page and branch outward with related themes, colors, symbols, and keywords. Mind mapping stimulates associative thinking and encourages unconventional connections. Overcoming common challenges in journaling. Despite its simplicity, journaling can sometimes feel daunting or uninspiring. Here are some strategies to overcome common hurdles. Writer's block. If you sit down to journal and nothing comes to mind, start small. Write one sentence or even one word. Sometimes beginning is the hardest part, but momentum builds quickly once you do. Alternatively, copy a favorite quote or poem to spark inspiration. Perfectionism. Remind yourself that journaling isn't meant to be perfect. Embrace imperfections as part of the process. Scribbles, crossed out words, and messy handwriting are all signs of authenticity, not flaws. Lack of time. If finding extended periods for journaling feels impossible, integrate it into existing routines. Jot down thoughts during your commute, record audio notes on your phone, or keep index cards handy for brief reflections throughout the day. Feeling restricted by structure. If prompts or formats feel limiting, abandon them entirely. Let your journal become a free-flowing canvas for whatever arises in the moment. Trust that structure will emerge organically as needed. Fear of judgment. If concerns about privacy hold you back, invest in a lockable journal or password-protected app. Alternatively, burn or shred entries after writing if permanence feels intimidating. The act of releasing your words can be incredibly liberating. Real-life stories of journaling success. To illustrate the transformative power of journaling, consider the story of a graphic designer who felt stuck in her career. She began keeping a daily journal, using it to brainstorm ideas, vent frustrations, and document moments of joy. Over time, she noticed recurring themes in her entries: her love for storytelling, her fascination with color theory, and her desire to collaborate with others. These insights led her to pivot her focus toward narrative-driven design projects, reigniting her passion and expanding her portfolio. Another inspiring example comes from a teacher who struggled with anxiety. He started journaling each evening, reflecting on his day and expressing gratitude for small victories. Not only did this practice reduce his stress levels, but it also sparked creative lesson plans and classroom activities that engaged his students in new ways. Journaling became a lifeline, a source of both personal healing and professional innovation. Closing reflections. As we wrap up this chapter, I invite you to reflect on how journaling can enhance your creative journey. What stories, dreams, or emotions have been waiting to surface? What insights might emerge if you gave yourself permission to write freely? Trust that every entry, no matter how mundane or chaotic, brings you closer to discovering your authentic voice. Remember, journaling isn't just a tool for productivity or self-improvement, it's a sacred space for exploration and expression. By combining mindfulness with the act of writing, you create a dialogue between your conscious and subconscious minds, uncovering treasures you didn't know existed. So grab your pen, open your journal, and let the words flow. Let's keep moving forward. Chapter 9: Integrating Mindfulness into Daily Life to Enhance Creativity. Welcome to Chapter 9 of our journey together. In this chapter, we're going to explore how integrating mindfulness into your daily life can profoundly enhance your creativity. While meditation and dedicated mindfulness practices are powerful tools, their true magic lies in how they ripple outward, influencing every aspect of your day-to-day existence. By bringing mindful awareness to even the most mundane activities, you transform ordinary moments into opportunities for inspiration, connection, and growth. Mindfulness isn't something you do only during formal meditation sessions. It's a way of being. It's about cultivating presence, curiosity, and intentionality in everything you do. When you approach life with mindfulness, you begin to notice beauty, patterns, and possibilities that were always there but went unseen. This heightened awareness fuels your creative spirit, helping you find joy and meaning in unexpected places. Let's start by understanding why integrating mindfulness into daily life is so essential for creativity. There are 3 key reasons. It enriches your sensory experience, strengthens your ability to focus, and fosters a sense of wonder. Enriching sensory experience. Mindfulness heightens your awareness of sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures. Whether you're tasting the subtle notes of a cup of tea, feeling the warmth of sunlight on your skin, or listening to the rhythm of raindrops, these sensory details become rich sources of inspiration. They anchor you in the present moment and infuse your creative work with vividness and authenticity. Strengthening focus. Creativity often requires sustained attention. When you practice mindfulness throughout the day, whether it's washing dishes, typing an email, or folding laundry, you train your brain to stay focused on one task at a time. This enhanced concentration translates directly into your creative pursuits, allowing you to dive deeper into your projects and explore nuances you might otherwise miss. Fostering wonder. Mindfulness invites you to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. A simple blade of grass, a crack in the sidewalk, or the hum of a refrigerator can spark awe and curiosity when viewed through mindful eyes. This sense of wonder reignites your imagination and reminds you that creativity isn't limited to grand gestures. It thrives in small, everyday moments. Practical ways to infuse mindfulness into your day. The beauty of mindfulness is that it doesn't require extra time or special equipment. You can weave it seamlessly into activities you already do, turning routine tasks into mindful rituals. Here are some practical ways to integrate mindfulness into your daily life. Mindful mornings. Start your day with intention, and instead of reaching for your phone the moment you wake up, take a few minutes to stretch, breathe deeply, or set an intention for the day ahead. For example, silently repeat to yourself, "Today I will approach challenges with curiosity and kindness." This simple act primes your mind for mindfulness and creativity. Conscious breathing. Use your breath as an anchor to the present moment. Whenever you feel scattered or overwhelmed, pause and take 3 deliberate breaths. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and leaving your body. This technique calms your nervous system and restores clarity, making it easier to access your creative flow. Mindful eating. Transform mealtime into a sensory experience. Before taking your first bite, notice the colors, aromas, and textures of your food. Chew slowly, savoring each flavor. Pay attention to how your body feels as you eat. Not only does mindful eating improve digestion and satisfaction, but it also teaches you to appreciate the richness of life, a mindset that naturally spills over into your creative endeavors. Mindful movement. Incorporate mindfulness into physical activities like walking, yoga, or even household chores. For instance, if you're washing dishes, focus on the sensation of water running over your hands, the sound of clinking plates, and the rhythm of scrubbing. If you're walking, pay attention to the movement of your feet, the sway of your arms, and the environment around you. These moments of embodied awareness ground you in the present and stimulate fresh ideas. Digital detox. Breaks. In today's hyper-connected world, constant screen time can fragment our attention and dull our senses. Schedule regular breaks from technology to reconnect with yourself and your surroundings. During these pauses, engage in mindful activities like journaling, drawing, or simply sitting quietly. Disconnecting allows your mind to wander freely, which is often where inspiration strikes. Gratitude in action. Throughout the day, pause to acknowledge things you're grateful for. This could be as simple as appreciating the warmth of your bed in the morning, the kindness of a stranger, or the beauty of a sunset. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, fostering a positive mindset that supports creative thinking. Transition rituals. Create mindful transitions between activities to signal shifts in your energy and attention. For example, before starting a creative project, light a candle, take 5 deep breaths, or listen to calming music. Similarly, end your workday with a brief reflection on what went well and what you're looking forward to tomorrow. These rituals help you move through your day with purpose and ease. Mindfulness in creative work. Now let's zoom in on how mindfulness specifically enhances your creative process. Whether you're writing, painting, designing, or problem-solving, mindfulness transforms the way you approach your work. Here's how. Slowing down. Many people rush through their creative projects, eager to reach the finish line. However, rushing stifles creativity because it leaves little room for exploration and refinement. Mindfulness encourages you to slow down, savor each step of the process, and trust that progress unfolds naturally. Embracing imperfection. Perfectionism is one of the biggest barriers to creativity. Mindfulness helps you let go of unrealistic expectations and embrace imperfections as part of the journey. For example, instead of erasing every mistake in a sketch, notice how it adds character and uniqueness to your piece. Listening to intuition. Mindfulness sharpens your ability to tune into your inner voice, the quiet whispers of intuition that guide your creative decisions. Rather than relying solely on logic or external validation, you learn to trust your gut instincts, leading to more authentic and innovative outcomes. Cultivating flow. Flow, as we discussed earlier, is a state of effortless immersion in an activity. Mindfulness creates the conditions for flow by reducing distractions and aligning your actions with your intentions. When you're fully present, time seems to disappear and ideas flow effortlessly. Processing feedback mindfully. Receiving criticism or feedback can be challenging, especially for creatives. Mindfulness helps you respond rather than react. Instead of taking feedback personally, you observe it objectively, extract useful insights, and use it to refine your work. Real-life examples of everyday mindfulness. To illustrate the impact of integrating mindfulness into daily life, consider the story of a chef who struggled with burnout in her high-pressure restaurant job. Determined to rediscover her passion for cooking, she began practicing mindfulness in the kitchen. She paid close attention to the aroma of herbs, the texture of ingredients, and the rhythm of chopping vegetables. Over time, she found herself experimenting with bold flavors and innovative techniques, earning rave reviews from diners. Mindfulness had rekindled her love for culinary artistry. Another example comes from a teacher who felt disconnected from his students. He started incorporating mindfulness exercises into his classroom routines, for instance, beginning each lesson with a minute of silence or asking students to share something they were grateful for. These small changes not only improved classroom dynamics but also inspired him to develop creative teaching methods that engaged his students on a deeper level, overcoming resistance to mindfulness in daily life. Despite its benefits, many people struggle to integrate mindfulness into their routines due to various obstacles. Here's how to overcome common challenges. Feeling too busy. If you think you don't have time for mindfulness, remember that it doesn't require large chunks of your day. Even pausing for 30 seconds to breathe deeply or noticing the sensation of your feet touching the ground counts as mindfulness. Small moments add up over time. Forgetting to practice. Like any habit, mindfulness requires consistency. Set reminders on your phone, place sticky notes around your home, or pair mindfulness with existing habits, for example, brushing your teeth, to build momentum. Judging yourself, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, "I'm not doing it right," or "this isn't working." Remind yourself that mindfulness is a practice, not a performance. Every attempt, even imperfect ones, brings you closer to greater awareness. Lack of motivation. On days when motivation wanes, lean on accountability partners, apps, or guided meditations to keep you engaged. Sometimes external support provides the boost you need to stay committed. Difficulty staying present. If your mind wanders constantly, gently bring your focus back to the present moment without judgment. Remember, mindfulness isn't about achieving a blank slate. It's about training your brain to return to the here and now. Closing reflections. As we conclude this chapter, I invite you to reflect on how mindfulness can transform your daily life and, in turn, your creativity. What activities could you approach more mindfully? How might slowing down and paying attention deepen your connection to the world around you? Trust that every mindful moment contributes to a richer, more fulfilling existence. Remember, mindfulness isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. By weaving it into the fabric of your days, you create a foundation for creativity, resilience, and joy. So whether you're brewing a cup of tea, folding laundry, or brainstorming ideas, bring your full attention to the task at hand. Let each moment be an opportunity to discover something new, to see, hear, and feel the world anew. Let's keep moving forward. Chapter 10, bringing it all together, living a mindful, creative life. Welcome to Chapter 10, the final chapter of our journey together. In this concluding segment, we're going to bring everything we've explored so far into focus, weaving mindfulness, meditation, compassion, visualization, nature, journaling, and daily practices into a cohesive tapestry that supports a creative, fulfilling life. This isn't just about what you do during these 2 hours, it's about how you carry these principles forward into every moment of your existence. Creativity isn't something you turn on when inspiration strikes or when you sit down to work on a project. It's a way of living, a lens through which you view the world, interact with others, and navigate challenges. By integrating mindfulness and meditation into your life, you cultivate a mindset that is open, curious, and resilient. You become someone who sees opportunities instead of obstacles, who finds beauty in the ordinary, and who embraces imperfection as part of the process. Let's take a step back and reflect on the key themes we've covered throughout this journey. Each chapter has built upon the last, offering tools and insights to help you unlock your innate creativity. Now it's time to synthesize those lessons and explore how they can guide you toward a more mindful, inspired, and joyful way of being. The foundations of creative living. At its core, creative living is about presence, connection, and flow. These 3 pillars are supported by the practices we've discussed. Presence. Creativity thrives when we're fully engaged in the here and now. Mindfulness teaches us to anchor ourselves in the present moment, tuning into what's happening right before us. Whether it's noticing the texture of fabric under your fingers, the rhythm of your breath, or the subtle shifts in light across a room, presence sharpens your senses and opens doors to inspiration. Connection. Creativity is inherently relational. It connects us to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. Compassion deepens these connections, fostering empathy and understanding. When we relate to our own struggles with kindness and extend that same compassion to others, we create an environment where collaboration, innovation, and mutual support flourish. Flow. Flow, the state of effortless immersion in an activity, is the sweet spot where mindfulness meets mastery. Meditation trains your brain to focus, while mindfulness helps you stay attuned to the nuances of your work. Together, they create conditions for flow to emerge naturally, allowing ideas and actions to align seamlessly. Now, let's examine how these foundations translate into practical steps for living creatively every day. Creating a mindful routine. One of the most effective ways to sustain creativity is by establishing a mindful routine. A routine provides structure without rigidity, giving you a framework to return to even when life feels chaotic. Here's how to design a routine that nurtures your creative spirit. Morning rituals. Start your day with intention. Spend 5 minutes meditating, practicing gratitude, or setting goals for the day ahead. Visualize yourself tackling challenges with confidence and approaching opportunities with curiosity. This sets a positive tone and prepares your mind for creative thinking. Mindful breaks. Schedule short breaks throughout your day to recharge and refocus. Use these moments to breathe deeply, stretch, or step outside for fresh air. Even a brief pause can reset your energy and spark new ideas. Creative blocks as opportunities. Instead of viewing creative blocks as failures, see them as invitations to rest, reflect, or experiment. Practice self-compassion. Reframe negative thoughts and use visualization techniques to imagine solutions. Trust that blocks are temporary and part of the process. Evening reflections. End your day with a period of reflection. Journal about what went well, what challenged you, and what you're grateful for. Acknowledge your efforts and celebrate small victories. This practice reinforces positivity and builds momentum for tomorrow. Nature integration. Make time to connect with nature regularly. Whether it's a walk in the park, tending to houseplants, or simply gazing at the sky, nature reminds you of the interconnectedness of all things and inspires awe. Digital detoxes. Periodically unplug from technology to give your mind space to wander. Use this time to read, doodle, write, or simply sit quietly. Disconnecting allows your subconscious to surface insights and ideas. Collaborative creativity. Engage with others to co-create and share inspiration. Join workshops, attend meetups, or collaborate on projects with friends. Collaboration amplifies creativity by introducing diverse perspectives and fostering community, real-life examples of creative living. To illustrate how these principles come together in real life, consider the story of a graphic designer who struggled with burnout and self-doubt. She began incorporating mindfulness into her daily routine, starting each morning with meditation and journaling. During her lunch break, she took mindful walks in a nearby park, observing the changing seasons and sketching scenes that caught her eye. Over time, she noticed her designs becoming more vibrant and innovative, reflecting the beauty and serenity she experienced in nature. Her newfound mindfulness also improved her relationships with clients as she approached feedback with openness and patience. Another inspiring example comes from a teacher who transformed her classroom using mindfulness and creativity. She introduced breathing exercises at the start of each lesson, encouraged students to express themselves through art and storytelling, and created a gratitude corner where kids could leave notes of appreciation. Not only did her students thrive academically and emotionally, but she herself rediscovered the joy of teaching. Mindfulness had reignited her passion for nurturing young minds and fostering their creative potential. Cultivating resilience through mindfulness. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. However, mindfulness equips you with the tools to navigate adversity with grace and resilience. Here's how. Acceptance without judgment. When faced with setbacks, resist the urge to criticize yourself or dwell on what went wrong. Instead, acknowledge the situation with compassion and curiosity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adapt? Focusing on what you can control. Many stresses are beyond our influence, but mindfulness helps you direct your attention to what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and responses. This shift empowers you to take meaningful steps forward, no matter how small. Practicing gratitude. During hard times, even in difficult moments, there's always something to be grateful for: a supportive friend, a comforting meal, or simply the gift of another day. Gratitude reframes challenges as opportunities for growth and reminds you of the abundance in your life. Embracing impermanence. Everything changes, pain fades, joy returns, and seasons pass. Mindfulness teaches you to embrace impermanence, trusting that tough times won't last forever. This perspective fosters hope and perseverance. The ripple effect of creative living. When you commit to living creatively through mindfulness and meditation, the benefits extend far beyond yourself. Your actions inspire those around you, creating a ripple effect of positivity and possibility. For instance, inspiring others. When colleagues, friends, or family members witness your calm demeanor and innovative approach to problems, they may feel motivated to adopt similar practices. Strengthening relationships. Mindfulness enhances communication, empathy, and patience, leading to deeper, more meaningful connections. Contributing to community. Creative living encourages you to share your talents, collaborate with others, and contribute to causes you care about. Whether it's volunteering, mentoring, or simply offering a listening ear, your presence makes a difference. Your next steps to young depths. As we near the end of this chapter and our journey together, I invite you to reflect on one action step you'll commit to this week. Will it be starting a mindfulness practice, spending more time in nature, keeping a gratitude journal, or collaborating with others on a creative project? Whatever you choose, make it specific, achievable, and aligned with your values. Remember, creativity isn't a destination, it's a path. There will be twists and turns, peaks and valleys, but with mindfulness as your compass and meditation as your anchor, you'll navigate this path with courage, curiosity, and joy. Take a moment now to close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Now silently repeat this affirmation to yourself. I am creative, I am mindful, I am connected. Feel free to personalize it however resonates with you and carry this intention with you as you step back into your day. Closing thoughts. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. My hope is that you leave feeling inspired, grounded, and empowered to live creatively through mindfulness and meditation. Remember, the tools and insights you've gained here aren't meant to gather dust. They're meant to be lived, practiced, and shared. Creativity is your birthright. It's not reserved for artists, musicians, or geniuses. It belongs to everyone, including you. By embracing mindfulness, you awaken to the infinite possibilities within and around you. Every breath, every thought, every action becomes an opportunity to create, to connect, and to thrive. As you move forward, trust the process, trust yourself, and know that wherever you go, whatever you do, you carry the seeds of creativity within you. Nurture them with kindness, curiosity, and presence, and watch as they blossom into a life filled with meaning and joy. Let's keep moving forward together. And so we arrive at the end of our journey together. a journey that has taken us deep into the heart of creativity, mindfulness, and meditation. As we close this chapter, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for your presence here today. Whether you joined me seeking inspiration, clarity, or simply a sense of calm, I hope you leave feeling nourished, uplifted, and ready to embrace the boundless potential within you. Throughout these 2 hours, we've explored timeless wisdom from Buddhism, practical tools like mindfulness and meditation, and creative practices rooted in compassion, visualization, nature, journaling, and daily life. Together, these elements form a tapestry, a way of being that invites you to see the world through fresh eyes, to connect deeply with yourself and others, and to trust in the infinite possibilities of the present moment. But remember, this isn't the end, it's a beginning. The true magic happens when you take what you learned here and weave it into your everyday life. It might be as simple as pausing to breathe before starting your day, noticing the intricate details of a flower on your walk, or setting aside 5 minutes to journal about your thoughts and dreams. These small acts, done consistently, create profound shifts over time. As you step back into your daily routine, carry with you the understanding that creativity is not something external, it's an intrinsic part of who you are. Every decision you make, every interaction you have, every challenge you face is an opportunity to create, to innovate, and to live fully. Trust yourself, trust the process, and know that even in moments of doubt or difficulty, you possess everything you need to move forward with courage and grace. Mindfulness teaches us to meet each moment with openness and curiosity. Meditation reminds us to find stillness amidst the chaos. Compassion encourages us to treat ourselves and others with kindness. Nature inspires us to marvel at the beauty around us. Journaling gives us a space to reflect and dream. And integrating these practices into our lives helps us stay grounded, centered, and connected to our creative spirit. I encourage you to revisit the chapters of this video whenever you need guidance or inspiration. Use them as touchstones to remind yourself of the power of mindfulness and creativity. Share what resonates with you, whether it's a technique, an insight, or a story, with friends, family, or your community. When we share our light, it grows brighter, illuminating paths for others as well. Before we part ways, let's take one final moment together. Find a comfortable position, sitting or lying down, and close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Now silently repeat this affirmation to yourself. I am creative, I am mindful, I am connected. Feel free to personalize it however feels most authentic to you. Carry this intention with you as you step back into your day, knowing that you hold the keys to unlocking your fullest potential. Thank you for being here, for showing up, for listening, and for committing to your growth. You are not alone on this journey. We are all interconnected, learning and growing together. If you found value in this session, I invite you to subscribe to the Mindful Zone for more content designed to nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Together, let's continue exploring ways to live creatively, mindfully, and joyfully. Until next time, may your path be filled with light, love, and endless inspiration. Namaste.